Hi guys, I'm back. When I tell you Canada was great, I will go back anytime, anytime. So for all of you that are living in Canada, who knew? Who knew? Oh, wow. But I truly, truly enjoyed myself. I really, really did. This is what I have left, and we'll get to more of why this is what I have left later. But I have my $5 Canadian bill, and I have a $2 toonie. They call their ones, and it's a $2 bill, but it's in a coin, so they call it a toonie. And so this is what I have left. Yay! And it's going to go to a good cause because I do plan to go back to Canada. It was great, you guys. It was. So, how did I spend my money in Canada? Did I blow my budget out the water? We are about to find out. But first, I'm going to get rid of all of this change because you know, when you spend money, the change comes. So I'm going to, while I'm separating, I have $1, separating these coins and putting them in their jars, I'm going to share with you some pictures. Man, ooh wee. I'm going to separate these, but I really enjoyed myself in Canada. I can't complain. We started off in Canada, of course, and ended up in Connecticut by the end of our trip. And that was perfectly just the way to do it this time of year. Canada is very beautiful. I got to go to Niagara Falls for the first time. My purpose in going to Canada was really to go and see if I could watch some whales, do some whale watching. I thought that would be fun and relaxing. However, I didn't get to go there because, of course, they had a hurricane pending in different areas, and I didn't want to get caught up in any of that. So I kind of changed my plans at the very last minute, and it was like the best decision that I could have made. I am so happy that things worked out the way they did. And when I say we ate, oh my gosh, we ate, you guys. We really enjoyed all the places that we chose to eat at. Shouts out to them. I will list a few, maybe, but honey, when I tell you, Canada got some food going on, and so does New York. We stopped back through New York and New Jersey, and like I said, Connecticut, and everywhere we ate was absolutely the best. And I think that's why food was one of my highest budgeted things on my vacation. I took over my pay envelope with me just in case, and I only had to dip in it once or twice to make change for tips or whatever, because my husband did most of the tipping, and my sister and my friend that went with us, because I had already budgeted out for different things. So they did most of the tipping. I didn't have to do much. I did do some tipping, but I'm thankful I didn't have to go into my pay envelope for anything else but to make change for the most part. If you saw in the beginning, you saw all the receipts that I managed to have for everything I paid for. These are the only two that I'm keeping, and we'll get to this a little later, but it's for my business. So that's why I have my business binder here, because these will have to pay me back when I cash in on my website. Did you guys get to check out my website while I was gone? February, oh my gosh. September 23rd is the grand opening of the website. Yes, you've been able to view it, but there'll be basically a lot of new products on there available for you guys. And for those that kept my Shopify dinging all the while I was on vacation, I haven't even looked. I have not looked at what you ordered. I have not looked at who ordered. I haven't looked at which savings discount code sold the most. I haven't done any of that. When I was on vacation, I couldn't even remember what day it was. That's just how exciting and fun my vacation was. Because most of the time I've heard that if you kind of get confused, be like, what is today? Wait, what was yesterday? It's like you done did a lot and you're not keeping up with time. You're not counting time. You're not doing any of that. I'm going to jump right into my wonderful Save the Bill savings challenge by Un Petit Budget. This is where I got this from, and I used it a little different than what it was for, because I had $305 Canadian cash. 300 is what I exchanged from the bank. 5 is what I bought from a friend because I wanted to get a $5 bill, and I still have it. I did not have to spend it. I'm going to keep it. It's going to follow me to Canada the very next time I go. So that's going to be like a souvenir for me for change for Canada. What I did use this for is how I actually spent my $300 in Canada. And as I spent, I just marked off the little dollars, because there's 5s, 10s, and 20s on her sheet. And down here, I just added my 2 toonies that I had spent. And in the end, I had 3 loonies, which one is a toonie, one is a loonie. So I had $3 bills, and then I had the 5, which I'm saving. So that was my takeaway from $300, $3 from my $300 budget that I had did. And so 60 went for transportation, and this is what I actually spent Canadian money on. Like, I actually handed them Canadian money to pay for these things. So $60 went for transportation. We got from the airport to our hotel by a taxi, and that was $60. Breakfast was $5. I just paid a $5 Canadian bill. Cocktails and wine, $34. $160 we ate at the Skyline Tower. And other than the revolving of it, y'all, the food was great. It was really great. We ended up having to leave the revolving tower, which, you know, me and my vertigo wasn't set up right to do the revolving. The one that I went to in Atlanta was not going so fast, but this one here, you could tell you were revolving. I don't know how those people were in there eating and drinking. I don't know, but I had to request to move down a level to the buffet area where it wasn't doing all that spinning, because me and my vertigo was not set up for that. But the dinner was nice. The views were fabulous. I got souvenirs from there. Gas was $30 that I covered, and then I just kind of mapped everything out, and I didn't fill out my whole thing because I only had $300. But like I said, my change was $3, and that's what I brought home. The toonie will go into a souvenir thing for me for my Canada trip. And in case I go back, I can take it back with me. Thank you, Un Petit Budget. I really enjoyed using this while I was in Canada. It was so fun to be able to mark off what I did and what I did not do. Now, for this budget, you guys, as you see, I was able to I itemized things that I spent, what I spent it on. Did I stay within my budget? The only thing that was not included in my budget was our flight cost, but everything else I had estimated out for $3,153. So let me see if I managed to stay within my budget. And I'm just gonna put this right here so we could go row by row. It won't take long. So for our vehicle rental, we rented a vehicle in Canada, and we rented a vehicle when we went to New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut to travel us around all 3 of those states. And my portion of that was $185.65. So my portion originally was $178. It ended up being $185.65. So I was a little over on that. And mainly that's because we ended up prepaying for some gas. So we had to split that. Speaking of gasoline, my portion of gasoline for our entire trip was $216.93, which is over because I only budgeted $150. For tolls and parking, I budgeted $100. I end up spending for us, my husband and I, $60. So that was a little under. For any buses, taxis, and Ubers, I budgeted $50. I ended up spending $98.44. I paid for the airport taxi to our hotels, and I also paid for the Uber ride to back to Enterprise Car Rental so we could get our car rental. So I paid for those two. As far as miscellaneous, what I didn't add under transportation was tips. So the next time I do a budget, I'm going to also add a row for tips and then leave miscellaneous for something else. But I had allotted $50 for miscellaneous, and I end up spending $18. And like I said, all of that was tips I tipped. For lodging, I had allotted $875 for our 2 hotels that we had to stay in. Ended up spending $1,042.59. And I'm really not even sure why. I think in Canada we had an upgrade. We could get an upgrade, and so we did. We got an upgrade, and I think that's where that difference came from, which was no problem. The hotel was fabulous. They didn't sell breakfast, so we had to include a breakfast payment onto that. So that's where some of that went. Emergency lodging, we didn't have to do any stopping in between. We flew from one place to another and drove from one place to another, so we didn't have to have an emergency lodging. I had budgeted $100 for that, but I didn't have to use anything. For lodging tips and fees, I budgeted $50, but I didn't have to pay anything for that for myself. And miscellaneous, I had allotted $50, and I didn't have any miscellaneous lodging fees for that. Food and drinks, so I had budgeted $900 for me to spend out of my pocket and, cover meals for us, but I only end up spending $586.53. But when I tell you guys, I think we literally spent maybe close to $1,500 on food because we ate, but it was not that the food was expensive. We just ate. We made sure we ate breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, wine, cocktails. All of that was included, but my husband paid for most of our food and meals at the restaurant. But for those that I was responsible for and treated us to, I wanted to go to this wine tasting night. It's called 99. A famous hockey player, he started that in Canada. Whew, y'all, if y'all ever get to go, please go. It's so nice. It's set up so nice. I enjoy myself, and I think I spent maybe $200 and some there just by that, because I end up also buying some wine after the wine tasting. Breakfast and coffee, for me, I had allotted $100. Only end up spending $34.21. I had coffee every day, but that's just what I ended up spending. Some of that was for a $20 reload on my Starbucks app, and so I used my app in different places because, yes, they do have a Starbucks. Bars and cocktails. This is where I was surprised myself because I really thought I was going to go in here, but my husband came to the rescue and covered a lot of this. Bars and cocktails, I had allotted $100, but I actually only end up spending $17, and that was just on something because I wanted to try something. Didn't know if I would like it or not, and I didn't want to waste anybody else's money. By the way, I didn't like it because it was really sweeter than I wanted, and I don't really care for sweet cocktails. Groceries, we did go to the grocery store, Walmart, and another grocery store in Canada, and I had budgeted $25 for this section, but I end up spending $34.40. If you can tell, I sound a little nasally, and that's because, my ears pop when we're in the air, flying and crossing over to 4 different seasons. It was and by seasons, I mean, you know, we went from Canada to New York to New Jersey to Connecticut. So to me, that's like 4 different climates. I should say, maybe I should say climates. But I had to end up buying some things to help me, some lemon, some honey, and that really did good. So I'm not really sick. I sound sick and nasally, but I'm not really sick. Miscellaneous, again, for food and drinks. I didn't put an area for tips, and I'm not sure why, but tips, I budgeted $50, and I spent $20 because at this one restaurant, you guys, that waiter, we had 2 waiters, and it was only 4 of us, but they gave us 2 waiters to our table, and that was just unique for me. I mean, I like that. I don't think I've ever had 2 waiters at any given table or any given restaurant, even when we have a lot more people than 4. For entertainment and fun, for souvenirs, I did really good. I had budgeted $150. I only end up spending $56, and that's in all 4 places. For rides and parks, we did do a water ride to go check out the Isles of there's an island in Toronto that you can catch a water boat to. So we did that, and I paid to get us there, and I paid for the parking. That it was like only $30 to park. So we did that and went to the island. Miscellaneous, $50 I had budgeted for. I didn't consider anything to be miscellaneous, so I didn't cover any costs there. Now, guys, don't judge me, but this is where a lot of my money went in this other section, okay? So if you remember, before the trip, I did buy a few items, clothing items to take over with me. And I bought a little purse because I wanted something a crossbody to just go across my shoulder and, you know, just hang on to my body. So that's what I bought before. I spent that, but the buffer I had of $300 and something in cash over here before I went. But when I got to Canada and New York, I think I literally lost my mind. When we went to the different outlets and so forth, I didn't budget anything for clothing, anything for accessories like purses and totes and anything like that. You guys, I spent $1,005.16, and I kept having to scratch it out because I kept buying stuff. Yeah, I kept buying stuff. I spent $1,005.16 on clothing and accessories like purses and so forth. And that's not all. I didn't budget anything for shoes. I end up seeing these Uggs I liked, and I paid for those. Oh my goodness, you guys, I literally lost my mind. But I'm not mad at me. I'm not mad at me. That's why you have a budget. But that wasn't included in my budget, but I'm good with that. I am good with that. Insurance and roadside, I had budgeted $100. Didn't have to use anything with that. Miscellaneous. Let's talk about this miscellaneous. I spent $277.10 in miscellaneous. I only budgeted $25. The reason being is, number one, I had to ship all of this stuff that I bought because we don't do checked bags when we travel. As often as we possibly can get away with not checking bags, we don't check bags. So I had no space to put all of this stuff, so I had to go to FedEx and ship it. But I brought back what I could in my 2 bags, but everything else I had to ship. While I was over there, I also ran into a great deal at the Walmart, and I purchased it for my business. It was $192.69, and I'll pay myself that back from my business some kind of way. I'll pay that back, but I did have to take it out of my Canadian budget money. So $192.69, and then I saw this little miniature ring light that I wanted to try. Haven't tried it out yet, but that's what I wanted to do, and it cost $12.74. So the FedEx shipping, the Walmart purchase and the business light came up to $277.10, which wasn't bad. I thought my FedEx would be way, way, way more than that, more than it was, but it wasn't. It turned out to be a good deal. So I had budgeted for $3,153, and that includes everything except for our flight costs. And then I ended up spending all but $300 of my all but $3 of my Canadian cash. And before we even left, I had spent that $365 to buy clothing and a crossbody purse. So I have not added any of this up yet because I really want to do that on camera with you guys to see if I manage to stay within my budget or if I'm over. Only this calculator will tell. So let me add this up really, really quick, okay? Okay, you guys, $3,894.11. 3,894.11. So you can automatically tell that I did go over my budget. I did go over my budget. Let me see about how much. Minus 31.53. $741.11. I'm over my budget. $741.11. Oh my goodness gracious. Overall, my total trip, my flights were $1480.96 plus $3894.11. So overall, I spent $5,375.07, which, you know, 53.7507 for a happy vacation to Canada, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. I think that's pretty good. Now, that's not all that we spent, granted, but it's all I spent. And thanks to my savings challenge puzzle, you know, I had all that all that covered. The $741.11, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, it's on a credit card. It's credit card debt. So, and then of course, this $192.69 and $12.74 is part of that, and I'll just have to pay myself back from my business. So technically, I don't owe $741.11. I owe $741.11 minus $192.69 and $12.74. That's what I owe myself back for personal use, but for business wise, you know, we'll do that. But I think that's pretty good, you guys. If you could go to Canada, I truly, truly, truly encourage you to go to Canada. Okay? I truly encourage you to go to Canada if you're able to. Now, there's $8 here. When we were coming back from our plane, coming back to Alabama, you know, we always tip the guy that drives us and keep our car at his lot and all that. But my sister handled that, so I didn't have to give him my $8 portion. But what I am going to do, because y'all know I'm planning for my next vacation right now. It probably won't be anytime this year. Probably will be next year, but hey, it's okay. I'm planning for it early, and I'm going to do it with Budget and Chaos's road trip with Snoopy. I think I'm going to just start in the front with Snoopy in the gas station. And I don't know if this marker will stay on here or not, but each of my Snoopies are going to be worth $2. Each of my Snoopies are going to be worth $2. And I have $8, so that means I get to color in 4 Snoopies, right? Yeah, I better not do those scratch-offs just yet because it said denominations up to $20. So I obviously don't have that. But I'm interested in getting back in the swing of things and getting this business launch done, my first business vlog done for you guys. And until then, I will check you guys later. I truly hope that you're having a fabulous day, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Enjoy yourself, guys. This $8 is going to start off my next vacation, and I can't wait to use it.